What's up, you guys? So I wasn't planning on making a video at all tonight, like not in the slightest, but I just got back from the gym and I drank an energy drink like right before I worked out because I was just so tired. I've just been working out so much lately. And I usually don't drink energy drinks because of this reason, because it's like no matter what the time is, oh, okay. I guess my cat wants to make a little appearance. Something that a lot of people don't know about me is that I don't drink caffeine like whatsoever, like coffee, tea, energy drinks, rock stars, Red Bulls, you name it, can't drink it like at all. But I was just feeling so tired, like just like from not working out to working out like every single day. It just makes you so tired. So today, I don't know what I can't even talk. I don't know what got into me, but drank a Celsius energy drink and it was not a good idea, like at all, because at the gym I was fine. At the gym I was like totally chilling, and I got home and it's just like, you know, when you drink, which I barely drink either, but you know when you drink and you can't really tell how much you actually had to drink until you like sit on the toilet, or you're like doing something by yourself, or like you get in bed and you're like, oh my god, like I'm actually drunk, or like, oh my god, like shit. So that's me right now. Shit. Anyway, I feel like what I'm about to talk about is very time sensitive because this is something that I'm going through right now. These are thoughts that I'm having right now, and I feel like sharing this with you right now, I feel like it's genuine. These are thoughts that I'm actually having in real time. This is how I truly feel right now, and I'm not a special snowflake, so I know that there's a lot of people out there kind of going through the same thing, so why not just share a little bit of what I'm going through right now. Where do I even start? So basically, if you don't know already, I model pretty much full-time. Like modeling is like my everything. It's funny because like when I was younger, I horseback rode for like 4 years. I swam for 6 years. I was on a swimming team. I played soccer for years. Played basketball, played softball, had all these different hobbies. But growing up as a kid, I was always one of those types of kids that would like start something but never finish it, or just like have a hobby for like X amount of time and then just like drop it completely. And I don't know why. It's just been something that, you know, I've always had a problem with, because, you know, I kind of have a hard time with, you know, motivating myself and just motivation in general. So that's always been hard for me. But the moment I discovered modeling, it was just like, I was literally married to this like I started and I just can't stop. It's like I live and breathe it. I love it. It's like all I want to do right now. It's all I want to focus on right now. And modeling is time sensitive. So it's like whatever you want to do in your modeling career, like the time is now, because it's like you're only getting older. You know, it's like opportunities are fleeting every single day. One door closes, another one opens. You know, drop from an agency, you sign to a new one, you know, you meet with different photographers. Like there's just something going on like 24/7. And I love the energy. I love the people that I work with. I just love it. My goal is to be signed in all of the major markets. I grew up in the Bay, so I lived in the Bay, got signed in San Francisco when I was 17. Basically, when I moved down to LA, I met with like 8 different agencies, and all of them said no except for one. And I remember I took that one as the one opportunity, and I just took it. So I was with this boutique agency for like probably less than a year. And then I got an opportunity to sign with Ford. So I was with Ford for a minute, and then all my agents transferred to LA Models. So that's where I am now, is LA Models in Los Angeles, nowhere else. I have an agency still in the Bay Area. They're my mother agent. And I also have an agency in Portland, which is the largest athletic market in the world. So throughout my modeling career, like, I have always had to work like 10 times harder than the next guy because it's my height, it's my look. People always tell me that my look is foreign, that my look is interesting, that, you know, I used to be told that I don't have the right look. I used to be told that I was too short, that I was too this, that I was too that. And when I went around to meet with a bunch of agencies, when I first moved down here, it was like 8 agencies. And like I said, every single one of them told me no except for one. So it was like, that was a huge, like, just stab in the heart. You know, it's like I had never really faced like that much rejection. I mean, I definitely am accustomed to rejection because of the industry that I'm in, but it was like, you just have your heart set on like a certain agency or working with like a certain team. And it's like when you don't get that, when your heart is set on it and you put all your eggs in one basket, like that's heartbreaking. Like, you know, it's just hard for anybody to deal with. You know, it's definitely hard. And as a model, you really have to become almost jaded to rejection, or else, you know, models every day quit because they get rejected. And it's like, I know models that get, you know, dropped by one agency and then they just hang up their hat and call it a day, and they just quit and they walk away from it all. And it's like, winners don't quit. Winners don't quit. So you got to keep going. You have to keep pushing. It's like, just because this one agency tells you no, that doesn't mean that your career or, you know, whatever that you want to achieve in the modeling industry is over and you can't achieve it, because you can. It just is like, you know, the people that you've been trying to work with, they don't see how special you are. So it's like, you don't want to be working with those people anyways. You know, it's like, they don't deserve your time. They don't deserve your energy if they don't reciprocate it, if they're not grateful and they don't treat you like you're a special asset to the agency. F them. Seriously, it's business. Like, go and look for something else. But I'm on a tangent. I digress. So anyways, so pretty much my goal this entire time is to be signed in all of the major markets. So every single time I've thought about sending my book out to New York and London and, you know, all these different markets, my first initial thought is like, I need to develop my book more. I need more of this. I need more of that. Like, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. And it would stop me from, you know, putting myself out there and, you know, just seeing what kind of opportunities I would be faced with. So every time I've had the thought to push my book and send it out to all these different markets, you know, like I said, I just felt like I wasn't ready yet. I needed certain photos and I needed certain looks in my book that I didn't have at that point. So I was like, no, like, I'm gonna wait. I gotta get this in my book. I gotta get that in my book. I just have to make my book more well-rounded, and I have to have just more. I have to have more of, you know, whatever I wanted at the time. So because of those thoughts, I kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And I would keep working, and I would work with clients, and I would test, and I would do all these things, and like all of a sudden I would accumulate more and more stuff in my book. And then the thought would kind of creep in again, like, you should start sending your book to New York, and you should start sending your book to London, because those are like my two, you know, top priorities. That's like my, you know, my biggest goal right now for myself. So every time that thought would creep in, I'd be like, no, 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 like, I'm not ready yet. Like, I need this, I need that. Like, I would look at my book, and I feel like as somebody that's like an artist or like a creative or somebody that, you know, just has like an artistic mind, I feel like you look at your stuff and you're like, I can do better. My stuff looks like and it's like, people are like, oh, like, you're being too hard on yourself. But like, as a creative person, you're like, no, like, I can do better. I know I can do better. So it's like you keep going and going and going, and it's like, nothing is ever enough. So fast forward to, you know, now, I finally was like, you know what, like, I need to start sending my book out again. And if you guys aren't familiar with the process, basically what happens is that my mother agent, which is the agent that is in charge of placement internationally within the States, you know, wherever in the world, if an agency is placing you, that job belongs to your mother agent. So they're in charge of placement pretty much wherever you want to go or wherever they see fit for you. So an agent at the agency that your mother agency sends your book out to, they receive your portfolio and then they start passing it around to people in the agency, in the office. So that's pretty much what happens. And then the agency that, you know, your mother agency sends your book out to, they decide whether or not they want to meet you in person, that they want to have like a video chat with you, that they want to sign you. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And sorry if that was confusing, but if you model, you probably already know. So I hope you know. So I've just had so many opportunities to do it, but I just kept pushing it because I just felt like I wasn't enough. And then finally I was like, you know what, like, I feel like my book is solid. This is the most ready that I ever have been in my entire modeling career. So it's like the time is now. I emailed my mother agency and I was like, yo, like, I want to send my book out to New York and London. And my mother agency is the best. Like, they know that this is like a huge goal of mine, so we've been working like side by side. Also, I was under the impression that there was like a right time to like do certain things in the modeling world, and like in the modeling world, it's like there is never gonna be like the perfect moment or like the right time. Like, you just gotta like do it. And of course, like through my experience, I had to learn that, but it's like, you know, there's never gonna be a perfect opportunity. Like, you have to make each opportunity a perfect opportunity. So my mother agency started sending my book out to New York. And because of the fact that I have faced so much rejection in my past, little old me is thinking like, if I'm lucky, like, I'm gonna get like one agency that'll bite and be interested and want to meet with me. And by the end of all of, you know, my agent's efforts to send my book out, I have 7 meetings in New York next week. Like, I literally cannot believe that. Like, it is so crazy to me. And I just never thought that was gonna happen. And I feel like there's people around me who didn't think that would be able to happen for me either. So it's like, just the fact that I thought, you know, my mind was making me think that only one was gonna be interested if I was lucky. And here I am, being able to have the opportunity to fly out to New York next week and meet with 7 agencies that want to potentially represent me. Like, that's just insane. Like, I am so grateful. I'm so excited, and it's like I finally get the confirmations of the meeting times and the addresses and who specifically I'm meeting with in New York. Pretty much all the way up to the point before all of my meetings turned concrete and everything got confirmed and I booked my flight and I booked my hotel, I was like super excited and like just excited and happy and, you know, just like giddy that I like get to have this opportunity. Like, it was just all positive, like all just happy thoughts, positive thoughts, like just being really hopeful. And then all of a sudden, like, once all the meetings got confirmed and my flight was booked and I knew, you know, what time I was gonna be flying out to New York, it was like all these negative thoughts kept coming in. And I woke up one morning the day after all my meetings got confirmed, and it's just hard to talk about because it's like, I feel like I have worked so hard for this. Like, if you know me, like, I feel like I don't even have to explain how hard I've been working, because if you know me, like, you already know. And it's like, I've just been putting like 100,000% of my soul into what I do. And it's like, I finally have this opportunity, like a once in a lifetime opportunity. And it's like, I finally have this opportunity right in front of me. It is so close. I can taste it, I can smell it. It is so close. And it's like, I woke up that morning and I was just like looking at myself in the mirror, and I was just thinking like, you're not enough. Like, you're not this, like, you're not tall enough. You don't look like these models. And it's like, I've spent, ever since my meetings got confirmed, I've spent so much time looking at each agency's women's board. And I've just been looking at all the models and, you know, comparing myself inevitably to all the models, you know, on their women's boards. And that morning when I woke up and I was just like, looking at myself in the mirror as I was getting ready for a casting, I just was looking at my hair and looking at my face and looking at my eyes and my lips and my nose and my body. And I was just thinking like my thoughts were becoming so negative. They're just like, and it's just, I believe that like those thoughts, like your brain is trying to trick you to make you think that you're just being realistic, but really those are just negative, toxic thoughts that stop you from achieving your goals and your dreams. But yeah, I was just looking at myself and I was just thinking, God, like you're going out, you're flying all the way across the country to meet with these agents, and it's like, you know that, you know, a good handful of them are gonna pass. You know that, you know, these agents are not gonna give you the time of day because of your height or your look, or you know, whatever was going through my mind. And I was trying to get dressed for my casting, and it was like, I just kept changing like over and over and over and over and over again because I just felt weird in my own body. And it was like, I felt like nothing looked good. I felt like my hair looked like shit, that my face looked weird, and it was just like, it was almost like I was having like a body dysmorphia moment, just like a brief moment of like extreme self-doubt. And I think it was just because everything was becoming so real. My brain was also trying to be realistic. And like I said, it's like those thoughts are so toxic. Like, they're extremely toxic because they stop you from envisioning your goals. They stop you from achieving your dreams. They stop you from believing that you deserve it and that you have worked hard and that you are worthy of these opportunities. And it's like, I just had to literally stop myself. And I just like, I'm not like, I don't think I'm like a necessarily religious person, but I just was in the car on my way to my casting and I was just like speaking out into oblivion out loud. I was just saying, I need strength. I need strength to believe that I am worthy, and I know I worked hard, and I know I deserve this. Even if you're not in the modeling industry, I feel like these sorts of situations happen to people where they almost get like imposter syndrome. Like somehow they were able to like finesse their way into an opportunity that they feel like someone messed up. They were able to just straight scam people, and somehow they end up in these positions and they feel like, you know, it was like a fluke or it was a mistake. You get an opportunity and all of a sudden like you were so confident up to a certain point, and then all these negative thoughts start to roll in and start to creep into your mindset. I've been doing a few things here and there that are a lot different than, you know, what I normally do. I feel like right now at this point in my life, this is like prime time, grind time. Like I'm like in it. Like I'm trying to stay focused. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to stay motivated. And this is how I've been able to do it thus far. The first thing that you need to be able to do is to be able to recognize when you're having these negative thoughts. Right when you start to feel like you're having negative thoughts, you need to recognize it, and you need to actually tell yourself that these are toxic and negative thoughts. And I know it sounds like so easy, but it's really not. Your brain is so powerful, and a lot of times we underestimate how powerful our brain actually is. So when you're having these negative thoughts, you need to stop them immediately. You need to recognize when you're having these negative thoughts, and you need to just put an end to it right then and right there, right at that moment. Because your brain will trick you into thinking that these are just realistic and, you know, rational thoughts, when really these thoughts are disguised as rational and realistic, but really they're toxic and they're not good, they're negative. You can't afford them when it's prime time, grind time, bitch. Right when you recognize that you're having negative thoughts and you're going through a negative thought pattern, you need to tell yourself, I am deserving. I have worked hard. I am important. People will realize my potential, and I do deserve the opportunity that I have in front of me, and I'm going to keep working until I achieve that, and nothing is going to stop me. I'm loved. I am a good person. I mean well. I have a big heart. I am determined. I'm fun to work with. I'm easy to work with. I'm a great team player. I'm positive. I'm happy, and I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And these are thoughts that you have to keep telling yourself over and over and over and over and over again. Because just like how people can start to believe a lie that they tell themselves, by telling yourself all these positive affirmations, one day you'll actually start to believe them, and they are true. It's so much easier to believe things that aren't true. It's like, as a human, we can get 100 compliments and 1 point of criticism, and the only thing we'll take out of it is that 1 point of criticism. So it's so much easier to hold on to negative comments, because it's like, it hurts, and it's something that, you know, it stays with us. But it's like, you need to keep pummeling yourself with positive affirmations, and the more you keep doing that, the more you will start to believe it, and the more you will actually visualize you becoming the best version of yourself. Speaking of visualizing, you do need to be able to visualize you doing whatever opportunity is in front of you, and you need to actually close your eyes and envision yourself actually doing whatever opportunity is in front of you. So let's say that you're a student and you have all these different schools that you're trying to get into, and you have like 1 or 2 schools that you really want to get into. You need to visualize yourself going to that school, doing homework that teachers from that school have given you. You need to envision yourself driving to the school or living in the dorm, because being able to visualize means being able to manifest. And when you manifest positive things, things will happen. And it sounds really corny and it sounds really cheesy, but the way that I'm able to visualize things, and I know that, you know, being told like, oh, like you gotta like close your eyes and, you know, think of yourself doing these things. But it's like, when I started thinking that I really did need to visualize, you know, my dreams and my goals and, you know, all of that, it was hard, because I was thinking like, it's the same thing when people tell you to pray. Like, if you're not religious, you're like how? Like, how do I do that? Or like some people that are, you know, vlogging for the first time, it's like, well, how do I sit in front of a camera and just like talk to invisible people? Basically, the best way I'm able to visualize things that I want is either at the gym or in the car. And when I'm in the car, I just put on my favorite songs. I'll put a list of songs that I've been listening to right now that, you know, have been really helpful for me in terms of getting myself into a position where I can successfully visualize myself doing things, and just music that motivates me and gets me out of bed, things that, you know, songs that make me want to like go and do things. I'll leave a list down below because I don't have a Spotify or like, you know, whatever. But when I'm in the car, I just put on songs that I really love. I mean, it could be like a 10-minute car ride, or it could be an hour-long car ride, but it's like, take that moment to cancel out pretty much everything else that's going on. Obviously, like, focus on the road, but kind of use that time while you're alone in the car to put on your favorite songs and blast them, turn them up, like, get motivated, get happy, and just think about things that you want out of life. Or if you have like a specific thing that you're trying to do, just imagine yourself doing these things. And I feel like for me, that works the best. Sorry, I live in an apartment complex. Every time a door slams or something, I'm like, my place is haunted. I feel like that's one of the best ways to help me do that, because it's like if I'm in the car alone and I have time, it's like people always have such busy schedules, you know, they're at work or they're doing this or babysitting or playing sports or, you know, at their job or, you know, whatever that they're doing. People are always saying that they don't have time to do these sorts of things. But it's like me, I drive every single day. So me getting into the car, and it's not something where I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna get into the car and I'm gonna play music and I'm gonna visualize. It's just like, if you have a moment while you're driving and you suddenly think of it, it's like, just start thinking of it. That's a really good way to get myself to do that. Another way is at the gym. So basically, I love running. Running at the gym can get kind of repetitive, and I feel like, you know, this is something that I also have a problem with, but recently, because I've been doing this, it's actually fun for me because I kind of devote this time specifically to be able to, you know, focus 100% on, you know, what I'm doing and my goals and my dreams and, you know, just thinking about all of that while I'm at the gym. So basically, I make time to go to the gym, and this is something that is also hard. So if you get yourself to go to the gym, first off, that's awesome. You know, you should definitely pat yourself on the back, because a lot of people are too lazy, you know, or you know, not motivated to even like go to the gym, step one. So if you do step one already, that's awesome. So basically what I do is I get on the treadmill. Like I said, I put on my favorite music, I turn it up super loud. It's really easy at that point, while I'm in the zone, to just like zone out on everything. I can really, really, really imagine myself doing the things that I want to do so much, to the point where like I see it so clearly when I'm running at the gym and my music's playing and I'm like sprinting, and you know, it's like my favorite songs like blasting in my ear, and I could just like, I can like just feel things and smell things and touch things. Like I can truly, truly zone out everything else that's going on and focus on this one thing. I have a hard time meditating because I get very overstimulated when there's no stimulation, and running at the gym with music, that's a great time for me to be able to like envision what I want for myself, my goals, and you know, all of that. So that's also another thing. And also just being able to hold yourself accountable. You know, it's like if you truly do want whatever you're going for, it's like, how bad do you want it? And it's like your actions will determine how bad you really want something. So it's like, you know, for me, if I was just, you know, sitting at home, not going to the gym, not eating healthy, not finding time to, you know, think about my dreams and my goals and what I truly want. If I'm not doing anything like that, it's like, well, do I really want what I'm setting out to do? Like, is this something that I truly want? And, you know, I've had to think about that a lot. And it's like, I do want what's in front of me, and I do want to achieve it. And, you know, it's like one of those things where like, how bad do you really want it? You know, if you want it really bad, like you're not gonna stop until you get it. And you have to be able to have discipline and hold yourself accountable. You know, I'm gonna do this, you know, X amount of days a week, and I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to do yoga, or I'm gonna go on hikes, and I'm going to, you know, do things that clear my mind, and I am gonna positively affirm myself, and I am going to tell myself that I'm worthy, and I believe in myself, and I deserve whatever is being put in front of me. It's like you have to constantly nurture yourself during this time, because if you can't see yourself doing these things, most of the time it doesn't end up happening. It's a Saturday night, and I just got back from the gym. I like you know, no going out for me, no going to restaurants, no, you know, getting dessert with my friends, no going to concerts, no shows, no anything like that. It is prime time grind time, bitch. You know, I'm actually glad that I woke up that morning and had all those negative thoughts, you know, just rush into my brain, because it kind of showed me that, you know, stuff like that can happen and it can stop you from doing whatever you want to do in this life. And I'm glad that I felt so strongly about it, because it's like, it was a big reminder that I need to be positive and I need to love myself and work on myself and nurture myself, you know, during this time when I'm working and I'm trying to focus on a certain thing. And it's like, for me, I always feel like when I put in 1000% of myself to do certain things, like when the opportunity is in front of me, I feel even more deserving because of how much work I put into it. So that's just something to think about, you know, it's just food for thought. And I just wanted to, you know, share that, because I feel like, you know, this is something that is going on in my life in real time. And it's allowed me to be able to assess how I work best. Just in the last couple of weeks, I learned a lot of new things about myself. You know, what works, what doesn't. You know, going to the gym and being in the car and, you know, telling myself, you know, giving myself positive affirmations and, you know, just like doing certain things that I never did before, and just finding different ways to get re-inspired, to motivate myself, just discovering new ways to help me reach a goal of mine. This has been priceless, like all these moments and, you know, all this time that I've been going through this. So I am grateful for having that one negative day, because of course there's gonna be so many negative days ahead, but it's like the way that I navigate through those negative days that will determine, you know, me being able to achieve what I want out of this life. So I feel like I've just talked your guys' ear. I feel like I just talked your guys' ears off. You know, I know that some of you guys are going through this right now alongside me. I hope you were able to take something out of everything that I just said, and if you have something similar that you're going through, I would love to hear about it in the comments below, or you know, feel free to DM me on Instagram, or I have a Twitter, or, you know, if however you want to reach me. I would love to hear, you know, your goals and your progress and like what you've been doing to nurture yourself and to further, you know, strengthen your mind to be able to do what you want to do in this life. So I'm gonna go. Thankfully the caffeine has pretty much worn off, I hope. I know that I'm gonna like sit on my bed and be like, I'm still caffeinated, but yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you were able to take something out of it, and until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.